Good evening. First tonight, we showed you his picture on the news, but that wasn't enough to stop a would-be thief from striking again. Soon drivers can fill up on E15 year-round, and the largest ethanol producer in the nation says that will be good for South Dakota's bottom line. Well, blink and you miss it. That's a good way to describe how fast a presidential visit goes. But when President Bush stopped in KELOLAND, just a few minutes he spent with two local law enforcement officers have given them decades of gratitude. Authorities say the crash happened right near the Big Sioux River, as well as the bike trail, which is right here. Court papers say Suleiman drove the getaway car after 19-year-old Yona Sama shot a teenage girl in the leg. South Dakota's Department of Corrections is issuing a warning on an inmate about to be released from prison. Okay, let's get started. One of the most talked about measures on this year's ballot is Initiated Measure 24. It would ban individuals, political action committees, and others from outside South Dakota from making contributions to ballot question committees. Well, this is huge news for racing fans, but when I-90 Speedway starts up again, the impact will go far beyond Hartford. Turning now to a first look at our midday forecast with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian, did I see the sun today? A little bit?
Isn't it nice to get that back?
Yeah. Well, what am I supposed to do? Am I invited?
Yeah, you could come on over to my house.
Okay, but no one will be there. I see what you're trying to do. Do you call dog photographers paparazzi?
Oh, that's a good one.
No?
I guess you could. They got to follow.
We do now.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that episode of Mama's Family when Vinton couldn't decide, so he mixed the two chilies together because that's how much he cared about the people? Am I the only one who watches Mama's Family?
Good evening. We are following developing news tonight as the situation continues to unfold in downtown Sioux Falls.
It all started around 10:30 this morning when a historic building at the corner of 10th Street and Phillips Avenue collapsed, trapping two people inside. We've had a team of reporters and photographers on the scene throughout the day. That's where we find KELOLAND's Perry Groten. He joins us live with the latest on this developing situation. Perry? Thanks, Perry. As crews continue to search for the man who is still trapped inside, the city has shut down roads for search crews, emergency vehicles, and heavy equipment. Tonight, Phillips Avenue is closed between 8th and 11th Streets. 10th Street is closed from 2nd Avenue all the way to Minnesota Avenue. Most downtown businesses remain open, but you'll want to avoid the area where crews are searching.
A lot of people living and working in the area.
Yeah, it's been a big effort, so a lot of them have been watching and waiting, and they were hoping for a miracle all day. They say that the whole downtown community is like one big family. Well, not only is the Sioux Falls community coming together, but elected officials from all over the state are too. Our congressional delegation of Senators John Thune and Mike Rounds and Representative Kristi Noem all tweeted their prayers and well wishes to everyone impacted by this. And there's that search dog that we've been talking about, brought in from Rapid City to help try and find that man who is still trapped inside, the construction worker that they've been looking for since this morning. They are still battling all of the cold temperatures, and those temperatures are falling right now. A lot of commotion going on right here. Workers have been digging in this one spot for a little while now, and they've been working pretty quickly.
And they're getting deeper. Just from the last few minutes during the commercial while we were watching, they have gone into this area right here.
You can see that the workers here are just kind of there for support, so all of the attention is right on the spot. There's some shovels, and they are really going at it. This is what you saw. Hello, Mr. President. Thank you for your time. President Trump walked into this room at the convention center, said hello, and I asked my first question. And the farmers have said the last 4 years have been really tough, and this tariff war isn't helping many things. There's a lot you didn't see. Our day began on the tarmac at the South Dakota Air National Guard. While the rest of our team was on this platform, we were on the ground, waiting for Air Force One to land. Chief photographer Kevin Kiergaard and I were part of the press pool motorcade that followed President Trump throughout his entire visit here. A White House staffer told us to be prepared to move fast. She said when she ran, we'd better keep up or we'd get left behind. She wasn't kidding. Once the president greeted Governor Dennis Daugaard and a group of supporters, he got in his car and we got on the bus that took us to the convention center. If you think security is tight here during a concert, look at this. A line of armed guardsmen and Secret Service agents greeted us as we walked into the event. Needless to say, it's all a bit intimidating. Finally, after lots of running and some waiting, the big interview was here.
President Obama, look at what took place during his presidency. It was After talking about farmers, tariffs, the economy, and more, the president shook my hand and got ready for his speech. That's when Kevin got to go where many photographers don't. He was able to follow the president backstage and get a front row seat to his speech. Then it was back on the bus and back to the Air Guard base. President Trump boarded Air Force One and left the same way he arrived. All of this happened in just a matter of a few hours. Brady Mallory, KELOLAND News.
Once I figure out how to do it.
Most people go to the gas station when they're empty, including Brad Roop. If he's not filling one tank at the Cubby's convenience store in Mitchell, he's filling another.
When he first started coming in, it was just get his coffee and go.
Over the years, Roop would encounter Larissa Donaldson and Faith Lentz. The two employees noticed the man who came in by himself wasn't actually alone.
He would come in with that dog because she would stay tucked inside his coat.
This blurry photo shows the focus of Roop's life, a Chihuahua named Sweetie.
You get kind of attached, it's like a second hand.
Roop brought the 14-year-old dog with him everywhere, up until a few weeks ago, when Sweetie died.
When she passed away, I still feel like I forget something. So used to carrying Sweetie around. It's kind of hard.
After his loss, Roop didn't come back here for a while. Well, Donaldson wanted to cheer him up, so she told him she had a Christmas basket waiting for him at Cubby's. When he got here, he found out that wasn't the whole truth.
I said, if you could have one thing for Christmas, for the holidays, I said, anything at all, what would that one item be?
And I said, another Chihuahua.
That's when a black puppy named Toby became the brightest light in Roop's life.
That's the first time I cried in public. It's hard to hold it back right now. Yeah.
Roop and Toby have only known each other for a few days now, but they're already bonding over breakfast like two old friends.
I mean, he's just a piranha.
That is the best gift anybody could give, is just companionship.
This gift comes when Roop needed a pick-me-up because Sweetie's death is the latest in a series of heartbreaks. A few years ago, Roop lost his house, and even worse, his wife, in a fire. Add to that a series of health problems and years of dialysis.
So I've been kind of going downhill instead of going uphill. I started falling apart.
Needless to say, a dog in his coat isn't all that Roop carries with him.
You don't feel like talking to people and stuff like that.
That's why Donaldson and Lentz wanted to help, because customers like Roop turn into much more.
They're not another dollar to us. We don't treat them like they're just a dollar to us. We treat them like family.
Most people wouldn't even notice when someone else is feeling a little empty.
I'm a big believer in it's who you have, not what you have.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, couldn't give you a better present for the holidays than
Oh, man.
not a what.
Leave it to a few friends at the gas station and a dog named Toby to see the big hole in Brad Roop's heart and know how to fill it.
I really appreciate everything you all done.
Oh, absolutely.
More than you can ever imagine. Here.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Brady Mallory.
I give him too many. He doesn't like it on the nose. What the heck are you doing?
All because of the color of Kareem's skin.
For a little more than a year, Kareem Cece's family and friends have been searching for justice. They say they didn't find it today.
Racist is right. Racist all the way.
Multiple deputies watched this group gather outside of court. At times, people quietly comforted each other. In other moments, they expressed their grief.
Alex murdered my son! He murdered my son!
In February 2017, police arrested Alex Linger. He was involved in a drug rip turned high-speed chase near the Midco Aquatic Center. Linger says he was trying to sell marijuana for $25 and chased after the other car when Cece's group didn't pay up. According to court papers, Linger tapped the other car with his bumper twice. A crash reconstruction shows both drivers then lost control of their vehicles and sideswiped each other, which sent Cece's car into a tree, killing him. Prosecutors say Linger texted Cece, "Nice try," drove away, and didn't immediately report the crash. Today, Linger apologized for causing Cece's death.
He was my fire. And that's the best way to describe him. He was my fire, and I've lost my fire.
Judge Zell declined an interview, but sat down with us after court to explain his decision. I asked him about the family's accusations that he's a racist and that his decision was based on race. He says he has no response to that and says that he decides each sentence based on the facts and circumstances of each case. He says race was not a factor for him in this one. Zell says he based his sentence on a few factors. He says though Linger pleaded guilty to causing Cece's death, prosecution couldn't prove it was intentional. He adds both groups that night were breaking the law because of the drug deal, and both groups participated in the chase.
It would have been different if it was reversed also. If it would have been Alex that died and Kareem would have lived, I think Kareem probably would have got 30 to 60 years.